Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. You know, 62-year-old George Robinson has been died by the hands of the police. And it happened in 2019, but they start to talk about it now. Now, three officers has now been indicted because of the death of George Robinson. And the families is very pleased about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, ladies and gentlemen, this news clip here, and then I'm gonna continue the rest of my commentary.
Top story, three police officers are charged after being indicted by a Hinds County grand jury.
Now, these charges stem from the death of George Robinson, who died after an altercation with the officers back in 2019.
Tourism Jade Blexa joins us now with the latest on the indictment. Jade.
Melody and Byron, the officers are charged with second-degree murder. Lincoln Lampley, Gerald Fox, and Desmond Barney. Now, in January of 2019, the documents state they pulled him out of his car, body slammed George Robinson head first into the pavement, kicked and hit him several times. The coroner ruled his cause of death blunt force trauma to the head. The officers were looking for who killed a pastor.
He lived on Jones Street. He came to his house. And they snatched him out, and they did what they did. All they need to do is just own up to what they did. We just asking them to just be honest and give us speed. Don't put it on nobody else, or don't say this, or don't say that.
There was an observed, what was believed to have been a violation of the law of Mr. Robinson. And when the officers approached him, he did not obey their commands. And they were in fear for their safety and everyone else's. And they did have trouble getting him to get out of the vehicle he was in. But as far as slamming him to the ground, that never happened. And they did go to the ground.
And find out more on this story tonight at 10. Byron?
Now, let me get this straight, ladies and gentlemen. So, this happened, by the way, in Mississippi, in Jackson, Mississippi, right? So, the three officers looking for a person that killed the local pastor there, right? So they really found George Robinson. They pulled this man out, body slammed him, kicked him multiple times. And you heard what the news media said that, they found him, and he died of a blunt force trauma in the head. And these officers said, well, he feared for my life. The thing, they're always using that to basically justify what they did to this man. And this man is only 62 years old. He's an old guy. He's an old man, for crying out loud. He's old enough to be someone else's grandfather. And you're going to try to do the blunt force trauma. And they said, well, he feared for his life. He refused to come out. But yet they the officers forced this man out, put him in the ground, body slammed him, kicked him multiple times in his chest and his head, and then hours later he died. And these officers said they feared for their life. They always use that line just to justify what they did. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad that these officers are indicted. I think now you're seeing like stories that comes out when police are killing unarmed black men in years and years after the George Floyd situation. Now the news will start coming out of all the stories we haven't heard about. We haven't even heard about it at all. And so George Robinson basically was one of the victims that were murdered by Mississippi police. And now I'm glad that they finally indict these three officers of his murder. So the thing of it is, ladies and gentlemen, is that normally police officers will not get indicted, or that really they will not get convicted. And like I said before, just because they've been charged with this crime doesn't necessarily mean they will get convicted of it. All because they're trying to find the person that killed a local pastor. And George Robinson didn't do this. They just killed an innocent man, an innocent unarmed man, all because of the death of a local pastor, which this man right here didn't have anything to do with it. So y'all let me know what you think about this story. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions signing off. Deuces.